Good evening, Bloodstains, or morning, or whenever we get this out. I have no idea. How is everyone?
I'm good. I'm here with my co-speaker, Cheesecake.
Right, cheesecake.
I'm still losing. And I'm probably gonna keep losing. So it's looking great. It's looking great.
It's
Oh
looking
yeah,
great.
the two speakers on this are at the bottom. That
Yeah.
that shows our authority on the game.
It's looking great.
shows
The
that
league's
we are-
looking
We are
great.
truly.
As a collective, we have played 6 games, and we have gained a grand total of 1 point.
Thanks to you,
Yep.
Callum.
Thanks to me.
Yeah, thanks. Mainly thanks to Callum.
Mainly.
Statistically,
No, okay.
I'm playing infinitely better than you guys this season. Blah. Right then. You had the first game. Oh, Leon had the first game.
Yeah, joy for
Let's
everyone.
go.
Yeah, let's go, Leon. What happened?
So 2-1. As most games were this week, 2-1 or 2-0 or 1-0. So
Or 1-1, or a result.
So my team Fly with the Lizards against Tug on My Bone by Adam. Maybe it's Knorr, maybe it's not. But so Undead versus Lizards. So I think I have a bit more TV than him, even after all of my injuries from the previous week.
Well, yeah, this is Adam's second game of the league. This is Adam's second game with this team, and he did fine in his first game.
Yeah, he got 1-1 with Rob. And so the Undead take a wizard, and Adam won the toss. He chose to receive. And so on the first turn, one of my 4 Sauruses, Croc Your Enthusiasm, is knocked out by one of his mummies. And the Undead stay together, mostly in the middle. I swing a skink on each flank near to the half cage, and then keep the rest of the team patiently behind the scrimmage. Adam moves his ball into a proper cage near the line of scrimmage, and he holds up 2 skinks on the flanks, patiently buys his time. And this is only turn 2. I thought this happened a lot later, but yeah, I lost my patience that quickly. I tried to I tried to blitz down his mummy, which is fine because I got an assist with a skink and a saurus. I did move a couple of skinks back in case this really didn't work. I blitzed with planes, trains, and komodos. And this is a theme. He dodged out. He's got great tackle, but he dodged out. He rolled a 6. I only got a push.
Where you want your 6s to be?
No. Well, it's better than my previous week where my 6s were. But I only got a push against the mummy, and I got greedy and rolled a push into another push, and then being the lack of patience person I was that week, I didn't change my plan. I based some ghouls with my skinks, moved another skink back, and then I dodged in to base the ball carrier with Gecko Brothers, my excellent skink who's never let me down. And I put him right next to a mummy and a ghoul. So, believe in blodge sidestep. But I was punished on turn 3, and he was injured. Out for the rest of the game. Good for me.
Sad situation.
Yeah, and the other lizards were pushed off. I blitzed off of Y in Adam's semi-cage and based the ball carrier again with my diving tackle skink. And then most of my lizards are free behind the scrimmage, with one skink behind the cage. Turn 4. Never mind skink. My diving tackle skink is blitzed off the ball carrier. The skinks are based, and 2 Sauri are based. And then another theme of the game, one of my Bloxauruses is constantly being based by Torvald the zombie for like the rest of the half.
So he's not able to do anything useful.
No, so considering I've only got 4 I've only got 3 on the pitch, and 2 are only actually doing things. So I tried to blitz one of the cage ghouls with PTK, and it results in a push. And most of my team is behind the line of scrimmage with 2 skinks and a saurus behind his cage. And Adam moves up slightly, advancing the cage above the halfway line on his left. And this is turn 5. My break tackle saurus dodges out again on a 6, blitzes down Fran's zombie, and kills him.
Hey.
But good thing of Undead, he comes back.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, that's SVP.
Yep, and another 6. I make an error in leaving a skink free on my defense, giving the Undead a chance to squeeze through. I should have put him 1 square back, so we'd have had to dodge in to blitz him. But sitting me, and then so Adam is getting the upper hand at this point. And
I can tell.
Turn 6, my skink is pushed aside. The trio of ghouls dodge through the gap, and the rest of my players are tied up or blocked off. Adam is slightly exposed, but sees he's in a dominant enough position, even if I knock down the ball carrier. I try to dodge, do 1 dodge each with 3 of my skinks, hoping to blitz down the goal. I fed on the second skink. He trips, landing on his head, knocking himself out. And then turn 7, Adam blitzes a skink, facing Pebble Ravager, the ball carrier, moves him safely away and stalls. A lone skink is injured by a mummy, and then he moves his other players up in support. And then I finally knock out the obstinate Torvald, and one of my loner skinks injures himself on a go for it. Turn 8, Adam scores with Pebble Ravager. So, and then all the knocked out players come back.
That's worse for you than for him.
Yeah. and then I don't try the 1-turner because that guy is having a rest this week.
Bad toe.
Yeah, not much really of note there. A high kick happens and I catch it. Really, I tried to injure a mummy, doesn't really go anywhere.
Oh well.
So by the second half, I've 3 out, and I only have 4 skinks and 4 saurus field. Adam has a full team. I receive and I get a touchback, and I keep my ball carrier back, and I continue to try blitzing Sekvet the Undying down with PTK, and I get another stun. Adam bases my saurus, and then tries to blitz on skink, and I'm pushing him back. Turn 10, I move up skink into scoring position, and I move up my ball carrier. And then on his turn, on the undead's turn, never mind the skinks, the ball carrier is lightning bolted and stunned. And then Oi the Lake is killed on the blitz by Cranium Ravager, who then dodges and falls down next to the ball. R.I.P. Oi. And then
I didn't even know you had a player called Oi.
Is a loner.
Oh, okay.
You know my theme. I wouldn't name a skink that. So turn 11, I do some blocks and score with the journeyman. So
sometimes you just have to.
Yeah, sometimes you have to. It didn't feel nice, but yeah. What the hell? But it made me realise that I can actually score quite easily with this team.
Yeah, it's lizardmen have problems defending, not attacking.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the thing. I am this is the only team in which I am actually okay with providing commentary on, because I have a 61% win rate, I believe.
Oh shit!
Ew, look at you.
No, with lizards, and it was mostly luck. But
was that one game? No, I'm joking.
No, it was the entire league. Yeah, lizards. I mean, you can score with them. you can score with them quite quickly, but it's whether you want to score with them quite quickly, because
Yeah.
if you do score, that means you're on defense, and that's really not where you want to be.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. I agree with that summary quite a lot. They're very good. They do random bits of greatness. They're not
It's
that
just sort of
reliable.
like you'll look like you're losing, and you'll occasionally do something really cool. You'll still look like you're losing, but you know you're a touchdown up now.
Anyway, keeping on topic, Leon.
Anyway,
Tell me, how's this game turned from a draw to a loss?
So Adam's next drive begins with a get the ref event, drives for everyone. Doesn't really make much of an impact. And then the undead make their way through my line of scrimmage and are in the midfield. And then they prevent a false scoring threat with the white. I didn't think they would go for that play, but from the way Adam plays. This match is quite interesting. How watching how calculated a really good undead player plays. So it was quite fun watching him play, even though I was losing. They failed to pick up the ball with a reroll. I tried to stay aggressive because I think I'm just going to lose if I don't. I tried to blitz down the goal. I end up only pushing him back with PTK, and then I put a loner skink around the ball. And then I fell a dodge with one of my other skinks. And the undead continued to sandwich my non-break tackle Saurus. And then Cranium picks up the ball, hands off to Pebble, and he advances safely through the midfield. Easy next turn scoring threat with one skink available to blitz. And then turn 13, I roll double ones with Nevermind on a dodge.
Well, never mind.
Never mind. And then Pebble moves up and stalls. My players are effectively blocked off. Crocure Enthusiasm is knocked out again. Nevermind is fouled and knocked out.
Never mind.
Never mind that. And then turn 14, Eridard the Tyrant is knocked out by PTK. And then a Vanity pass by Haverick the Defiant succeeds on a reroll.
Insult to injury, eh?
Turn 15, I roll another 6 on a dodge with PTK. He really wants to win the game. If you haven't he's like my Croxagore when my Croxagore was playing good. And then he bases Pebble. I think he was in a situation where if I'd have known he would have done a 6, he could have actually blitzed Pebble. And then I managed to add another body basing Pebble with a loner skink. And then both were pushed off with a well-orchestrated blitz. And then Pebble hands off to Haverick. He moves out of danger, stalling for another turn. And then managed to get a skink to base Haverick. Then he blitzes him down and scores, getting a level up. So that is that. A well-orchestrated win by Adam. But I wasn't that unhappy to lose it because none of my injuries were bad. The death only happened to a loner. So
we kind of know Adam's quite
strong
good.
next week.
We kind of know Adam's quite good.
Yeah, it's a very scary team, to be honest.
No, it's not. The team's not scary. The coaches.
The team is scary because the coach is good, and he'll make that team scary.
We'll see. I know what he's going to aim for because I've seen him. I played him in the COVID 1900 Cup, which was quite funny. But yeah, unlucky for you a bit there, Leon. I think just by the way that I saw the dice earlier, unless I got mixed up. Because yeah, again it was a bit of luck. He's pick-up rolls. Let's looking at. Actually, we've gone a step too far here.
Let's look at statistics.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's take a step.
Come on, professionals.
We're professionals. All right, yeah. Ball possession. You can see Tug Bone obviously have the lion's share here.
75%.
That's some pro stats there.
I mean, that's a pro strat. If you have the ball a lot, you're probably going to score a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we look at the ball possession for you. 6%. None of it in the opponent's half, which means you scored on the turn that you moved there. Good job, Leon.
Thanks.
That's an elf shit, even if it was just a handoff.
That's that's elf nonsense.
Yeah, even if it was just a handoff. Looking at that, he's got the pass. He's got a pass. As you said, he had to use a burn or reroll, so bit unlucky there. You kill inflicted. Yeah, he's got everything. He's got the bashing game over you. He's got the ball
I
retention
did more
game.
blocks, which is interesting. But my armor value collectively is worse than his, more or less.
Yeah, and he's got mighty blow.
I didn't block the ghouls enough, probably, but didn't have many opportunities because of the way he positioned his units. Again, it was a match of sort of patience.
Yeah, the ghouls are the weak links in undead and necro teams, because the ghouls are the only players you can't regen.
Yeah, definitely.
Looking at the SPP, those are some elf numbers of SPP there. If we look at Talking About Bone, that is 13. That is 18 SPP. Good numbers. Good numbers of SPP.
Yeah, very good. Second match.
Very, very good.
And you got 10 SPP, so that's nothing to be ashamed of.
It was really 7.
Oh, I see. Of course. Pop into dice rolls. Looking at Talking About Bone's dice first, they're D6s. They're a bit reasonable. Pickups within margin of error because he's only picked up 3 attempts at pickup. Yeah, nothing less surprising. What about you? Anyone else want to pick anything standing out at all? Thought not. Yeah, thought not.
I guess that's all within the margin, really.
Look at the block dice. Not many skulls. Lots of pals. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice?
It's a bit.
This I didn't see actually.
Yeah.
It is especially worth noting the number of pals compared to the number of defender stumbles is quite high, which is bad for Leon, considering that like half his players have dot. It would be useful to have more defender stumbles.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting to point out.
Yes. Unplug your mic back in, Willem.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah, comparing the pushes to pals as well is also quite interesting, because obviously 21 pals to 25 pushes. That's not nice for you, Leon. And that low skulls is always cruel. That's cruel. We're going to look at your d6s now.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
Dodges. Your dodges are completely within margin, completely where you're expecting them. Exactly where you expect them. Your armor's actually held up exactly how you expected if you're armor 7.
Which I'm not, because only half of my players are.
Only half of those are armor 7.
Yeah.
So it seemed even your sources had armor 7, it seemed.
Yeah, they all have armor 7 apart from PTK. Trains and Komodos. Right.
Going for it within margin was like we were expecting yet.
Yeah, that's quite good actually. Yeah.
Everything else is fine. But looking at your block dice, you're about 6 below on pals to pushes. Not many both downs compared to pushes as well. So you can say slightly unlucky with your dice, but Adam's dice are very lucky. Where this
I didn't roll.
Dice, block dice.
I didn't roll any 1 dice.
Well done. Alistair
That's quite interesting.
Alistair would be proud. Yes, considering you've got quite a lot of strength to 2 players.
I would note, going back to the dodges, I think three of those were from Asaurus.
3 dodges were from Asaurus.
From PTK, when he didn't need to dodge, but he decided to anyway.
Not many 3s. You've not rolled many 3s.
No. Anyway, that's that.
That's that. Let's pop to their teams. We're gonna look at Talking About Bone first. They're on the first page. No, they're not on the first page. Here they are.
And the last one.
We're gonna look at their team roster, and we can see there is 2 level ups this game. Haverick, the defender, has got a level up. Mighty Blow, that's an obvious choice. And Pebble Ravager has also got a level up, and he's also got block. Reasonable choice. You might consider Sure Hands for your first player level up with the ghoul, but with one of your first level up for one of your ghouls. But Block's probably a reasonable choice as well.
Yeah. I guess perhaps it's a decision between Mighty Blow and Guard with the white. But, depends on who he's facing next. I don't know if he's facing anyone.
Oh, I know he's
squishy.
facing next. I know exactly who he's facing next. Lots of Mighty Blow. So 3 Mighty Blow.
I know who's facing for the next 2 games.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yep.
So if you're facing him next, you're probably going to start getting to Browntown. Lots of Mighty Blow. But yeah, that's that. And we're going to look at your team. Did you get any level ups, Leon?
No.
Ah.
But
Even with 7 SPP, you didn't even get a level.
Oh no, right?
Mm.
Major complaints, but I did get the MVP on Gecko Brothers, which is good. Although I prefer Anasaurus, but so that's good.
Yeah, you're still not fully blocked up on your Sauruses yet, and you're still not even fully Saurused up at the moment. So I suspect you're buying Saurus.
I can afford another one.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of a name. So if anyone thinks of a name,
Do anyone think of names? Put them in the comments.
Yes.
Hey, audience interaction, guys.
Viewer engagement.
Okay.
The theme is comedy shows mixed with a lizard name.
But yeah.
So there we are. Next game.
Well,
Eye.
next game is Freddy's Nightmares vs. the Leviathans. We were teasing this game last week because this game happened beforehand.
Speaking of ghouls not being able to regenerate.
So, Willem, hit me.
Oh boy. So there's no inducements because I thought I had inducements. Turns out I didn't because, you know, journeyman and all that. So the Leviathans win the toss. They choose to kick to the Nightmares in hopes of a kind of dwarven sort of 2-1 thing. For the first time in their entire history, probably, they set up a properly elven defense with sort of the 3 on the line and a few 2-deep columns. Seeing this seeming cowardice, the Nightmares set up quite a fast and aggressive defense with the wolf on one of the flanks. After a quick snap for the Nightmares, they begin to just sort of bash up the field, albeit quite delicately and without a lot of basing going on, doing that sort of dancing around in the background thing that Barry likes to do, although seemingly it works. But they fail to pick up the ball with the ghoul, even with sure hands. Seeing this, the Leviathans attempt to go on the offensive and start forming a net around the Nightmares whilst running a catcher up the other flank. Unfortunately, some mediocre blocking leads to a massive giant hole falling in the defense, and the Nightmares manage to run down the ball, run the ball down the field with a little bit of back and forthing. I managed to pick up the ball at one point, but it just sort of fails. They form into a standardish cage, and then there's an 8-turn touchdown for the white, but not before I place some players quite badly and get them surfed off. Going into the second half, the Leviathans are actually down 2 players. Crucially, the 2 line elves with dodge, which is quite irritating. They attempt to set up quite heavy on one flank, as it is their offensive, and they try to charge down the field, but are immediately held up. Turn 10 for the Leviathan sees Tyrion, brother of Teclis, kill it, the ghoul.
Ooh.
Which is... It is quite spicy.
It's not a shame.
It doesn't really help. After barely getting the ball anywhere, the Leviathans managed to lose control and lose players, leading to the Nightmares picking up the ball. They managed to wrestle back control about sort of 12, 13, 12, maybe even turn 12. The Leviathans managed to wrestle back control turn 12 to 12, turn 13, but they're 5 players down at this point, and it's really just not good enough. The Nightmares managed to score turn 16, and the game finishes 2-0. Interesting note, final players on the pitch for the Leviathans was 5.
5? That's a lot!
That is a lot. Because as high elves, when you start losing players, it starts going quite exponential.
Oh.
I think it's very interesting to see that not only did Barry manage to score turn 8, he also managed to score turn 16. It was very slow, very methodical. Bashed my players out of the way, got them off the pitch, got them down, and just charged the ball up. Which, I mean, he played well. Played very well. I do feel quite good about managing to kill his best ghoul. So I'm quite happy about that. Quite proud of myself. But it doesn't really do much, unfortunately.
Well. One player, one death is just an opportunity for a new goal. Let's pop into statistics. Ball possession, mainly in Nightmare's favour, but of course that's the sort of thing you're expecting. But quite a lot of it is in your half, so seems to be dominating. Yeah, not dominating the field more than anything.
Probably about 4 squares, if I'm being honest. I can point to about 4 squares that the ball mainly stuck around.
The injuries and KOs quite even. In fact, you removed players permanently the same amount of times. You injured three. One of them being a kill. He injured 3.
But
2
he did
kills.
succeed a lot more blocks, so there was also a lot of stuns and just play.
Yeah. Yeah, he's also bashing you more because, you're elves. And who doesn't like bashing elves?
Who doesn't like bashing elves?
Even elves like bashing elves. It's kind of...
True.
Anyway.
Which we will see later. Foreshadowing! So, yes.
Looking at the SPP, you got 10 SPP. That's a good. But not...
It's not.
It's
the
not
7 SPP is on a journeyman who I couldn't hire. Well, I could have hired him, but I didn't want to hire a lineman. So that's technically 3 SPP for me, so it's not very good, actually.
Fantastic.
Because the guy who got the injury also got the MVP and was also a journeyman, so that sucked.
What was it? When did you get? I can check that, actually. No, he didn't get an injury. That journeyman didn't get an injury.
Then how did he get 7 SPP?
Look at that. Oh, he got an injury. Yeah. Sorry, I thought he said he was injured.
No, he got an injury, which is why he's got 7 SPP.
Got
But I didn't want to hire him just because I wanted to get the reroll. Huh.
Meanwhile,
Freddy's Nightmares have elf levels of SPP there.
I know, it was quite... And a lot of even numbers, which is quite representative of what happened.
Lots of even numbers.
Lots of armor breaks.
Anyway, let's go to dice rolls. Leviathans, looking at your d6s. You're going for it. That's cruel. That's low. That's the first thing that sticks out to me.
That's been the same for the past 2 games I've had as well. My going for it's
You're
not happening.
Yeah. I remember that last game as well. We're talking about that. Anything else surprising there? Armor.
Your armor is slightly low, but you've got no catches yet, don't you?
There's 1 catcher.
I had 1 catcher, but they didn't really do
much.
much.
I think it should be around 70 something. So mid 70s ideal for armor value 8, but I think. But yeah, it's not too bad. Marginally bad.
Looking at the dice distribution, there's a lot of 6s. I think I know where they went.
I think I know where they went indeed.
Let's look at the block. Let's look at the block dice. Everything's low. Everything's low.
Everything's low because they couldn't really make a lot of blocks. Very interesting to note. Not only the block dice at the bottom, but if you look at the little chart, that's a lot of 1 dices.
That is a lot of 1 dices. Just
I thought that was a bug personally, but all right.
That's a lot of 1 dices.
I had to because I was down players, well, it's not just that I was down players; it's that I had players, but they were so spread out that I couldn't get them to help each other.
Oh well. Sad situation for you, Willem. Looking at the D6s of Freddy's Nightmares, their dice, they're completely fine. Nothing surprising there. Actually, that armor's low. That armor! Oh my god, that armor!
Oh!
Yeah, that armor's pretty bad.
Halfling armor there. Were you fouling players, Willem?
Nope, no fouls.
No fouls. Oh, that's bad armor. That's bad armor.
I don't foul.
You're the Elven game, don't
bad
foul.
armor.
Yeah, no, we definitely know where the 6 went on that one. Let's look at the block dice. Ooh. Any 1 dices? 1, 2, 3 1 dices? 4 1 dices? 5 1 dices? Tut tut tut.
I mean, he did have quite a big advantage, so I would actually say.
Does this win even count?
Many 1 dices.
I'd say, does this win even count?
No, it definitely does. It definitely does.
20
good players roll well on 1 dice, don't they?
I mean, he's probably slightly. Looking at the amount of dice he's rolled, he's probably slightly high on pushes and slightly high on pals, which of course means his dice are slightly good. So yeah, bit unlucky for you, but just good. But Barry,
Nothing, no permanent damage, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Barry probably was well deserved for this win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go look at the teams. We're going to look at the Leviathans first. And you had a level up, didn't you? You have Anith and
I had two level ups.
2 level ups.
Tyrion got dodge. For killing the poor little gremlin. He managed to get dodge.
I thought Tyrion was already at the level up this game. Tyrion got the level up.
Tyrion just got dodge. And Alithanar.
Alithanar got an edge up. So, Leap.
Which I don't know if that's a good thing, but whatever.
Obviously, it's catch, pass, block, leap, dodge, in that order, clearly.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Although I may, yeah, pretty much.
Get frenzy.
I might, no, definitely not. I might want to put leap before putting.
And you
pass,
purchased another catcher.
Which is not what I wanted to do. I did that without thinking.
You probably wanted to purchase another reroll because I noticed you were still on 2 rerolls.
I even had enough to get a reroll.
This is like punishment team. Willem is learning how to play with 2 rerolls.
Yeah. No, that's like most of my teams. Have you not seen most of my teams?
I saw one where you had no rerolls. That was a great idea.
That was a bad idea.
That was a mixed side league. It's fine. Let's look at the Nightmares. They've got a level up as well. That is Misty with a movement up. I mean, yeah.
But a skeleton, no? What?
Movement up.
You're down a ghoul.
Down a ghoul, but you know. But movement up.
But movement up.
What?
Wait. Down a ghoul, but up a movement on a zombie. You can just give the zombie the ball. It's fast enough for it now.
Kemri can do it.
Exactly.
I don't think we like this choice, do we?
No.
Maybe
wrestle, player kick. Other choices.
No, I mean, there's better choices for a zombie.
But who knows? This might bite us in our ass. This might be the one thing that makes him win the whole league.
Billy Butcherson Misty scores touchdowns every single game now.
Movement up is on a 10, correct?
Yes. So the other one would be an
double. So you could have gone with strength. So you could have gone with guard.
No, not necessarily. Because it could have
been
been
get to 10.
Could have been a 6 and
10.
6 and 4.
Could be 6-4, true.
But we'll see what happens. I don't think Push is a good choice, but oh well. What do I know? I'm on 1 point. He's on 3.
Yeah. By the way, take all our commentary with a pinch of salt, considering we're the bottom 3.
Just say how many points you have, and we'll back down.
Alright, let's go into Rob's Claws versus Mean Men. My first game, my game. This was a fun game in that my dice were awful at the most crucial times. They were fine everywhere else, but it was awful when it didn't need to be awful. Bit of shenanigans beforehand, because about 10 minutes before the game started, the TV difference looked to be 300. When the game started, the TV difference was 120, because he sacked a Minotaur and got a goat, and I got a new lineman. Claws win the toss, they choose to kick, which is interesting, because Rob normally chooses to receive. Mean Men get off to a good start, taking off 2 players, one being an injury. They keep the ball deep in the hands of the edge up thrower. Rob applied some pressure on the ball carrier, but he realised when he realises the ball isn't coming upfield soon. The Mean Men go back to stop the pressure, make a 2 dice block against a warrior, double push, which isn't enough to stop the pressure, so they re-roll it. Double skulls. Oh dear, oh god. I forgot to stand up on my players beforehand. Oh god, I kind of deserve to get a bit in the arse like that.
Oh god, you wrote that down, so you could say it here.
Oh god, that's alright, man. I didn't write oh god. Obviously I wrote oh nuffle. The Claws steal the ball and keep the ball 1 square from the end zone, cruelly teasing me. Badly hurt bits, gets appoed. This will bite me in the arse later. Pressure gets applied on the ball, and eventually it becomes hard for the claws to screen them. Pressure gets applied eventually, but it becomes quite hard because the claws are screening and bashing like pros. They score on turn 6. However, the Bretts succeed a 2-turn touchdown in response quite quickly. So, because the claws were a bit indecisive with their setup. The claws make good use of the remaining turn, injuring 2 players, and crucially one of them being the mighty blow blocker, which had been doing quite a lot of damage. So, half time was 1-1. Second half starts, the claws receive the ball. Each side starts with 9 players. With the blitz dangles in front of me. I get the blitz, I get someone on the ball, put some additional tackle zones, and I move another blitzer in a position to reduce the amount of blocks he's going to make against my ball carrier from 3 to 2. However, I fail to go for it. I decide not to reroll it because even a body in the way will be enough. And of course, injury by blitzer. And so it does take in the full 6 dice to knock down the ball carrier, because the ball carrier of course catches it. And the ball is pressured up. The ball is they're pushing me to the side. And the ball is. Oh, that's my notes there. Give me a second. The claws have to use 6 dice to take the ball carrier down. After a bit of a chain bounce, chain catch, the ball lands kind of okay for the claws. The claws go in and pick it up, and the Bretts are kind of boxed in. A scrum follows, and the play drifts from the right of the pitch to the centre over the next few turns. Crucially, the arm of the Bretts starts to fail. The end of the half is going to end with 4 players on one side, 10 on the other. Guess which way it's going to go. The claws work their way to the end zone in a similar fashion to they did in the first half when it comes to their screens. It takes an epic 4+, 4+, 3+ dodge with a GFI and a Dauntless check to get 1 dice against the ball carrier, and of course it's a skull. Makes all of that, gets a skull.
Nuffle dangled it.
Nuffle dangles.
Pure poetry. That sort of thing either ends. This is the thing. That sort of play either fails on the last dice or on the first dice. It
does.
Never fails in the middle.
The Mean Men have enough plays yet again to do a 2-turn touchdown because he doesn't immediately score off. Sorry. Yeah. So rolls skull and immediately scores. 2-1. The Mean Men have enough players to score a 2-turn touchdown. However, I set up completely wrong. I put my edged up throwing piece near the front, and I put the wrong blitzer in the backfield to do the throw. This, of course, do you remember what I said about me using my apothecary earlier? Yeah. Guess what's dead? Guess what died next turn? My edged up passing blitzer is dead after he is put in a potential scoring position along with 4 other players.
Rest in peace.
He's true elf now. He's up in the little elf heaven. Not to be curtailed, I tried to still try for the 2-turn. However, I failed the first dodge in order to knock a player free to score. Game ends 2-1, full time. Like I said, it only failed when it really mattered.
Yeah.
I was very bitter about this game, but I'm in much better spirits now.
What was his name? what was the poor man's name?
It was either Lord Reddit, Lord Facebook, Lord Imgur, or Lord something or other.
It was Lord Facebook.
Lord Facebook. Rest in peace,
Lord Facebook. Up there in Elven heaven.
Cambridge Analytica Lab.
Okay.
At least he's got very good company.
Let's look at the statistics. Meaning men have more ball possession, which feels a bit right, but of course none of it matters. Apparently my passing game never happened. The blocks succeeded for the claws. Look at that, ridiculous.
That is
Yep.
Chaos Dwarf porn material. That
Mm.
that is a lot of blocks.
Elves have nightmares about that that number of blocks.
You know what? I'm gonna have to change the page. No, I'm going to the next page.
Okay, fine. Let's go to SPP then. Now we've got some proper elf numbers of SPP. Oh, look at that.
For chaos, weirdly.
But for chaos,
Can't let Chaos win.
lots of chaos.
No, make the good stuff on them.
So yeah, 3 players with 5 SPP. Wow, oh god, I'm crying. I suspect there's a couple of level ups there.
You didn't even concede.
I didn't even concede! Like a good sport.
I cry every time.
But yeah, looking at the dice rolls then. Rob's claws, armour. Their armour's low. But to be fair, I was making quite a few fouls.
Injury's pretty good though, and the casualty's pretty good one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
80% injury. Yeah. 100%.
And okay, 100% pick up, go for it, and pass for chaos. Oh, and dodge.
That one dodge.
I mean, they were all in margin of error.
Yeah.
But
Well, apart from
Four-
the pickup and
4 pickups is not within margin of error.
the go for it's are, but yeah.
Yeah, true.
And the wake up after KOs is quite good as well.
Oh yeah, I did make a point
That's
about
very
that.
good.
I did make a point about that in the middle of the game. That his pick wake up rolls were good, but of course his armor was slightly bad. Look at his block dice. That's a lot of skulls, but there's also a lot of pals. His dice are
Going through the list, it seems that like the skulls, there weren't a lot of double skulls really.
There was one double skull that I remember.
It got rerolled.
Okay, looking at it, there's 3
No,
double
there's-
skulls actually.
Yeah, there's a few, but they got rerolled.
Nothing crucial apart from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only one was taken.
Mm.
Yeah, only one was taken. So the others are rerolled in something okay.
Mm.
Um,
And if we look at but his dice itself, they're probably slightly bad, but they might not be. There's a lot of calculations that need to be done there. I have no idea if they're bad or not. But
well, you are.
32
Your-
skulls. Ew. Looking at my block dice.
Yeah.
Oh, not many pals. I can feel vindicated there. Not within. Bit unlucky on the amount of pals. Not within margin of error, but not making many blocks anyway. So, when you're a bash team and you're not making many blocks, expect to lose. D6s. Dauntless works 6 times.
That's a lot of dice. That is a lot of dice roll.
Yeah, but look where they mainly are. They're remaining on my armor. I'm an armor 8 team. I'm an armor 8 team. I think.
Yeah.
Leon, is that good, Leon?
That's not good.
That's not good. He wasn't even making any fouls.
And considering your armor 7 people not easy to get to, or continually block, yeah, I think that should be around the 70 mark. I think.
Wake up from KOs. Wake up from KOs.
That's not good.
That's not good.
But not awful, but that's not good.
I mean, the fact that it's even in the double digits in the first place is not a good thing.
Yeah. Consider it should be tending above. It should be tending It should actually be tending slightly below 50 because you don't reroll a success. But actually, sorry, it should be tending above 50 because you don't reroll a success. But yeah, that's awful. That's awful considering what he was rolling. 6 KO checks, 5 succeeds. Meanwhile, me 11 and 5 succeeds.
Yeah. You did pretty well to KO him though, but yeah.
Dauntless though.
Dauntless. I mean, funny enough, most of them were 2+ Dauntlesses, so they are technically within margin of error.
I mean, but it's something. Something
Your
to look up to.
bribe worked.
My bribe worked, yeah.
Your bribe, that's perfect.
All right then.
It wasn't Lord Facebook. It's definitely not Lord Facebook. I think it was called Sir Facebook as a blocker. Let's go
Right.
to the D6. Let's go to the level ups. Rob's claws first. No, there was at least one level up. I think it might be the movement player. This team's looking scary.
That's especially good on his ball handler. Like
Mm.
his designated ball handler managed to get that one, which is quite nice for him.
Yes.
This is a ridiculously scary team.
Also, Beetlejuice got block for his skill because Mighty Blow first, block second. Bold strategy, but it's worked. And Canis Majoris has also got block. Also got Mighty Blow. So imagine placing this team soon. That's a lot of Mighty Blow. That's going to be a lot of claw. That's going to be a lot of claw. That's a lot of scary players.
I mean, like, just being able to field 6 strength 4 players is, I mean,
Oh, God.
it's a nightmare.
That can move. That can dodge.
that can move and can actually do things. Oh, sorry, Liam. Sorry. Sorry, Leon. I mean, could you even have 6 at this point?
Let's look at Meanly Men
Anyway.
now. Let's look at Meanly Men. No level ups, and it was Lord 4chan that died.
Oh no, what a loss.
Oh, that's probably a good thing for the world.
It's a
That
good.
is probably a good thing.
Nah, I cry every time, but we'll hopefully a Lord 4chan the second, son of Lord 4chan the first. I was thinking with Lord 8chan maybe. I don't know.
Probably 8chan. Yeah.
Lord Bebo.
Lord Bebo. No, Bebo would be a sir actually. Funny enough.
Lord/B or /Pol.
Anyway.
Anyway. Any level ups though?
No level ups.
No level ups, what a shame.
Knife-Eared, we'll pop over to the next game. Knife-Eared Bastard versus Fake Leather and Pleasure. This one was Willem, wasn't it?
Yes, this one was a very interesting one. And it was actually quite fun to watch. I don't usually enjoy watching Blood Bowl games, just because it's not really the sort of thing I do. But this one was actually very interesting to watch.
I mean, it's a thing you do now.
That's my job now, I guess. I can't remember the inducements. I asked Fraser, but he never got back to me. So there was inducements, I'm sure, but yeah, who knows? It was definitely an off game. There was some dodges and some ducks, no leaps, which I was quite sad about. As an advocate of proper leaping, I didn't get to see any, so I was quite sad. The toss goes to the leathers, and they chose to receive. Where are we? Yes, so the toss goes to the leathers. They choose to receive. After a pretty standard 2 deep setup from the bastards, as in 2 defense. So 2 deep setups from the bastards. The leathers choose relatively aggressive setup. Perhaps looking to make use of their new witch elf, which they put on the flank. A gust of wind sees the ball go super far deep. Although the leathers don't seem to mind too much. And we see some small movement, with the leathers clearly wanting the bastards to make the first move and to break out of their defensive formation. The bastards try and directly into the leathers' strong section, but then hurriedly sort of retreat back. And their first couple of turns is basically spent moving their columns further down the field. After some very unlucky dice, and a quite awkward but somehow successful surf from the Witch Elf. That very Witch Elf is knocked out, and a Dark Elf is surfed off the pitch. The Leathers are now trying to rotate around the Bastards into a weak section, but are caught kind of out of position and forced exceedingly close to the flanks. With the Leathers losing players, they attempt a desperate push, but they just can't make enough ground. They're incredibly tight-packed, with all but one player on the other side of the pitch standing directly next to each other. A Snake Eyes dodge by the ball carrier sees quite a fatal turnover, and the ball is just sort of popped out of the little clump. And then after a couple of lucky rolls from a War Dancer, the ball gets run out, and with a super tight cage around the entire Dark Elf team, and a ridiculously unlucky dodge first thing on one of Fraser's turns, all they can do is just watch as the War Dancers manages to score on turn 8. Just before we go to the second half, this half was a perfect example of how some really badly timed bad luck can really hamper a drive, even if the dice evened out over the rest of that drive.
The bad luck was critical.
Oh, we are just getting reports now that there were Bloodweiser babes for Knife-Edged Bastards, it seems.
Thank you, editor, for watching this game.
Yeah. So, with the Witch Elf still out of action, but the rest of the team still fine, let us set up a bit of a scattered defense. The Bastards then counter with an exceedingly front-forward attack. Some more diced Dark Elves and some more in an uneventful cage. Steamrolling down the field and scoring turn 14. Up next, both teams set up with a slight favor to the right, and the ball lands heavily towards the right flank. The Lillers only really have 3 turns to score, and they make a valiant effort, but unfortunately the Bastards manage to just stall for way too long. The game ends with a perfectly positioned runner that would have been able to, make it 1-2, not 0-2, rolls a 1 on attempt to catch a handoff. It is pure poetry. What should have been 2-1 at least ends 2-0, although both players played very well.
Well, it's nice to see Daniel get away from his god-awful record that he had with this team last in the Neophyte League. So he's now got 2 wins from 2 games, which puts him near the top, I think. Somewhere near the top.
He's got 1 very good win and 1 against a punching bag.
Well,
although not to discredit that win, but
we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's nice. It's good to see Daniel, because he is a good coach, as anyone who's seen him play dwarves, Chaos Dwarves knows. But yeah, now let's look at the statistics.
Phil Jr., as he's known as sometimes.
Phil Jr. Look at the statistics. You can see the Bastards have got quite a lot of ball possession for a Wood Elf team.
Yeah.
And that ball possession's mainly in Fraser's half as well, which obviously means pitch control as well. Yeah. So yeah, Daniel seems to be playing quite well there. The KOs and injuries are about even, as you're expecting, but the Bastards getting more, considering that the Dark Elves have higher armor than the Wood Elves. It's interesting to see that the KOs and injuries are in favour of the Wood Elves, but they don't do more blocks, or succeed in more blocks.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Popping into SPP, not quite ridiculous elf numbers yet for the Bastards, but we'll get there. They'll get there, and they'll be scoring 4 touchdowns a game. But yeah, Fate, Leather and Pleasure, 9 SVP. That's nothing to be scoffed at, considering the least elf of the elf teams.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good, considering. And obviously, could have been 13 if a handoff. Well, sorry, 12 if the handoff succeeded. Looking at dice rolls, Bastards first. Dodges are fine. Armour is awful. Oh my god.
That's very impressive.
Yep. The numbers aren't too high, is the thing.
Good
Like,
he wasn't
obviously
against a Nurgle team.
Yeah.
Well, what have you got? Mighty Blow on every single player? And was there a lot of fouls? God, no. That's just ridiculous.
The armor, though, I think was, the armor did break a lot, and that's quite terrible. There wasn't a lot of injuries taken, so it was mostly just stuns.
Take root, working good.
What a good tree!
Good tree.
Yeah, by the way, the tree did work in this game. Really did work.
That's a good tree. That's a shame. It's a good tree. What a shame. I'm in the anti-tree camp, just so you know. I think trees are a very terrible idea for a Wood Elf team. It's completely antithetical to what you're trying to do with a Wood Elf team. Anyway,
that tree is going to smash you so bad.
Yep.
Interesting to note, only 1 go for it attempted, and it failed, and that was by the tree. So clearly...
What a rubbish tree.
what a terrible tree. But clearly Daniel realized... the reason he didn't have to make any go for it is because the ball barely moved because he just Daniel managed to just cage the entire thing, like properly locked everything down and didn't have to make too much movement.
I
so didn't have
suppose
to go for it a lot.
I suppose that tree does help him with the pitch control as well.
Oh yeah, it definitely managed to tie up many dark elves.
No one expects the tree.
Anyway, looking at his block dice, his block dice are reasonable. They're reasonable to okay. Yeah, a lot of pushes, but not. He's more pushes than he probably should be considering the number of dice he's rolled. He probably should be looking at about 36 pushes. Not many, quite a few both downs, which favours a Wood Elf team because they only have 2 pieces that start with block compared to the Dark Elves that have 4 pieces that start with block. Anything surprising with his dice? No. Looks like his skulls are well distributed. Looking at the D6s of Fraser, the Fate, Leather and Pleasure. Honestly, what is that dodge rolls? That's some edge 3 dodge there.
Yeah, that was kind of a killer for him.
Not only that, his armor is low. I can tell that just off the top of my head that's not armor 8.
Yep, that is not armor, right? That's a good 20 points.
Yep, and the Witch Elf wasn't really on the pitch, so we can't even say that it might have been all that armor 7. Nah, it was just bad.
And catch not working out well. Oh dear, seems like getting a bit of rotten luck there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So we know where
his
the
injury rate was very good.
Yeah, we know pardon, Leon? So
his injury rate success rate was good, so that saved him a lot of bother. Yeah, go on.
Lots of 6s, but I think we know where they went. They went on the armor rolls. On
non-important dice as well.
Also
there were some
dice.
6s rolled on like dice. Last dodge away from a treeman manages to roll a 6 somehow, and like where it didn't matter.
Let's look at the block dice. That's not good dice.
Oof.
That's really not good dice.
Big oof.
You're close to a flat line there. It's close to a flat line, which is awful. Yeah, more skulls than pals. Just consider that by itself bad, but considering that the same amount of skulls as pushes.
Yeah, I mean it was noticeable. It was this entire game was kind of like bad luck, but just amplified.
I think Fraser also needs to work on not doing many 1 dice when possible.
I didn't want to say anything, but
I think
that is a little bit high.
I think you both agree with the sentiment on that one.
Yeah, usually I'm a little bit lenient on 1 dice stuff because I do it so much myself, but that's high.
That's a high amount of 1 dice. That's not good. Yeah, that's that for the teams. Let's pop to the teams themselves. Knife-eared bastards. Surely they've got to level up with all that SPP. Where are they? Knife-eared bastards. There they are. 1500 team now, which is good for Wood Elves. We're getting into that's getting scary. I have lost my Spike app. There's my Spike app. And I suspect there's level up. I suspect that we're gonna be seeing Loraniel get sacked before the next game. Because movement 6 on the team about movement, not good.
Yeah, not really. Yeah.
2 level ups. 2 level ups. Nimhuia. He's got block, good choice. Though I might consider wrestle. No, he hasn't actually got that much block, so probably the right choice. The War Dancer, Mataranu. Name your players. Name your players. Has got jump up. So yeah, that seems looking The right players are getting the SPP, which is always good. So you've now got some some war dancers with 2 levels. Your catcher is a touchdown away from a 2nd level up. Block, probably. Dodge, sidestep, and alignment. Interesting choice. Dodge, block, and alignment. Interesting choice. Get rid of the cheerleaders and the coaches, though. That's just bloat. Let's look at Fake Leather and Pleasure. Any opinions, guys?
So, did he get any level ups?
No level ups. No level ups. Any opinions on this team?
Well, they're intact.
They're intact. They're alive.
Which is good. Got some good skills. Blodge. Some dodges. Guard, which I do like.
Yeah, if it's a lineman, you get. If it's a lineman or a runner, if it's a lineman, you get guard. If it's on a double, if it's a runner, you get strong arm. If it's a blitzer or a witch elf, you get mighty blow.
Not catch.
On a double, we're talking here.
But
yes, catch on a witch elf on a single.
I mean, yeah, it's doable.
It's like I have to do this. I'm gonna have to do it just to get him to shut up about it. Yeah.
No, it's still it's a decent team, and it's dark elves. They're elves.
They're elves. Get level.
They can. You just have to keep believing in elf stuff, Fraser. Though I'd probably recommend necromantic or undead. I think.
Yeah, you just have to believe in the elf.
You have to believe in nothing.
Yeah, good point.
And get rid of
don't do what I do.
And get rid of the cheerleaders and assistant coaches. They're just bloat.
Someone has to do it in the league.
I think that's going into semi-finals and finals. That's kind of what you do.
Yeah.
But for a league.
Let's go to the next game. Fridge Raiders versus the Killing Jokes. That one's me. This was very much a one-sided game. The score says 1-0, but that's only because it's Nurgle. Nurgle received the ball. The Jokes have a babe and a bribe. The ball is secured. The ball is deep and is secured by the Jokes. Weeman has claw and the Weeman and his claw mighty blow wounds early, getting rid of KOing 2 players by itself. The Fridge Raiders sap the ball carrier but are unable to secure it. The Jokes knocked down the goat that did the sapping a turn later. The ball remains on the floor for the next few turns because of the because of the rainy weather. Jokes eventually secure the ball under pressure, but they're still stuck in their own half. Chris tries a risky breakthrough, but nobody told him the odds, and he fails a 4+ dodge. Nurgle finds the ball safe, and Nurgle makes the ball safe, and Chris has lost a few players. And on top of all of that, foul appearance stops a blitz. Matt spends the rest of the half.
It doesn't work until it does.
It doesn't work until it does. Matt spends the rest of the half punching the Jokes to smithereens, while their scoring attempt is busted by 1 dice from against the ball carrier with wrestle. Second half, a lot of the KOs come back, making the player count 10-11 in favour of Nurgle. However, pitch invasion only targets Nurgle.
Wow. Okay.
Matt still has 3 Nurgle players stunned. But Matt is still able to secure the ball. Chris immediately goes to the ball, burning a reroll on his first of 2 4+ dodges to blitz the ball carrier. The second 4+ dodge fails, and with the dodge skill, and his turn's over. He hasn't even moved anyone else. Terrible. So obviously he has surrendered the punching in the centre. The scrum takes most of the action over the next few turns as the ball drifts from the centre to the right and back. Chris gets 2 dice on the ball carrier but fails to knock him down with 4 dice. Matt swings the play to the left, escaping what should have been a stall for the drive. Chris manages to wrestle the ball down the next turn with a sneaky goal. But Chris can't secure the ball. Matt collects the ball again and fails to cage up yet again. But he's not punished this time, due to Chris have burning all his rerolls by this point. The pain keeps coming. Matt is able to remove yet more players. Chris has little players left on and no ideas. The drive is effectively over. Matt continues his bash fest, scoring on turn 16, giving Chris no chance to reply. Full time, 1-0. Look at those armour breaks. Look at those armour breaks. 22 armour breaks against a team that's mainly armour value 8.
You love to see it. I mean, you hate to see it if you're on the receiving end, but you do kind of love to see it.
Yeah.
And do I see a sneaky expulsion there? Do I see a sneaky foul there?
Cheeky couple of fouls. Ball possession. Obviously, Refrigerator's got 50%. The ball has more possession than Chris does. quite a silly sort of thing. KOs inflicted, 8. KOs injuries inflicted, 1. In return, 1 KO inflicted, 1 injury inflicted. And that got regened anyway. It was a sad day for the Killing Jokes. Let's look at SPP. 10. Nothing. It's all boring.
Nah. It's all boring.
It's all boring.
This is why everyone should play L's.
This is Elves, you can then talk. Oh, that guy's got some SP. That guy's got some SP. All killing teams. I know.
Chaos when they're on their way to murder center.
Leon, what's your opinion on the dice?
So. Armor is a bit low for Forgotten Refrigerators, considering armor value 8 and armor value 9. Injuries are right. Dodge is alright, considering. I mean, depends what those dodges were on.
Yeah, there was a couple of dodges that were on the Rotters, and they both succeeded.
Yeah.
Going for it's a 5.
Yeah.
Pickups.
Going for it's a perfectly fine, actually.
Pickups are
Really
within margin
stupid
of
is
error.
nice to have. Yeah.
Really stupid. Yeah, it's all fine. All fine.
All seems quite average. Apart from, the armor's a bit weird. But
Block dice.
it's boring.
Block dice are boring, but they're in equal parts bad and good, because lots of powers, lots of skulls, relative pushes. Not many both downs. 12 both downs.
What's that I see? What's that?
Double skull.
There's no one dice. There's a double skull, but there's no one dice.
Ooh.
I'm amazed.
All right, Alistair.
Two double skulls. 2 double skulls, but no one dices.
That's 2 teams.
Mostly because he doesn't need to, because he's got so much strength 5 and everything. But it's nice to see.
Let's look at the D6s of the Killing Jokes. Oh my gosh! Look at that armor! Look at that armor!
Oh! Another halfling award this week.
The Halfling of the Week award goes to
the Killing Jokes.
Now, from what I saw, from the fact that Matt had an expulsion, it does seem like he was probably going for quite a few fouls.
Not that I remember.
Okay.
Not that I remember. Those dodges, oof, but Chris likes to make a lot of silly dodges.
I think Chris is like still there's still a bit of a hangover from when he played High Elves, making a lot of dodges. With Edge 2 and Edge 3, so
Elves are quite an addictive drug.
Elves are quite addictive.
I've never got the spirit to play elves, I don't think. I'm just too pessimistic about it, my decisions.
Oh dear. Let's look at the block dice. Nicely, tending towards the middle. Tends towards the middle there.
Yeah.
That's a couple of 1 dice. Probably being punished for it. Lots of pushes compared to everything else. 2 pals. 2 pals. That's not nice.
I wish I'd got that against my team.
Yeah. When your opponent gets these sort of dice, you're really happy. But yeah, as I said, it was a 1-0 drubbing, really. And that sort of dice kind of justifies it. Let's go to the teams. We're going to go to the refrigerators first. Tell me, guys, what do you see?
I see pain.
I see
I see
pain.
misery.
I see suffering.
I see
I see
death.
past suffering, past pain, past death.
I see pain. The ghost of pain, past, present, and future. I see much death.
Mm.
This is a good
we
team.
need to kill Wee Man. Everyone needs to kill.
Wee Man is the new Angry Joe. But no level ups, guys. No level ups. So that's a thing.
No level ups.
Let's look at the killing jokes.
That doesn't help. That doesn't help.
This team is perfect, as it is.
Doesn't need more.
Killing jokes, which I kept referring to as Underworld last season. This week I will refer to them as Necromantic, because that's what they are. No level ups for them. Ooh! I think that ghoul's new. No, apparently that ghoul can't be new.
Yeah, no, quite injured.
I don't recognise that ghoul.
I'm pretty sure I didn't foul him when he was having a day off.
Nah, I do remember seeing Golgothan last week. I believe he did something. No, I don't think he did anything actually.
Well, yeah, this team's also got no level ups, so obviously you know that when the SPP was so low. But is this team scary? Not as scary, not as much Mighty Blow.
Yeah,
No,
just
no,
evil bunny. That's the scary one.
Yeah, evil bunny.
Yeah. Outside of the Mighty Blow and the block, like it's just a very sort of average. Just got a lot of levels.
I mean, evil bunny's no Boris Johnson.
No. It's no Boris Johnson. It's no Wee Man. It's no Angry Joe. It's no Anarian. You know, there's nothing particularly scary, but it's still quite worrisome if you're going up against it and don't have as many level ups.
We're final game of the week. Leon, Alistair versus Liam.
I mean,
the Undercity
no, do we need to cover this at all?
Yeah, we do. I think we do.
Are we going to bother covering it?
We do need to recover it. We do need to cover this game.
Yeah, Willem. Alright. So
just because you've got places to be.
No. I don't have anywhere to be. I was just saying because someone else has already covered it.
No. Leon, tell us what happened.
all right. So the Yorkshire Ripper win the toss and choose. They roll a double 6 on fans. Alistair gets Clark Jr., a wizard, his favourite, and a Budweiser vape on inducements. That's what I think. That's all he got. I'm not 100% sure.
He could have got more, maybe. You don't know.
Yeah,
I'm going to make a prediction. Alistair forgets to use his wizard at a potentially crucial time. Am I right?
Close.
Carry on.
So I won't get into steps, but Alistair's gut runner is quite deep, which is quite interesting. He sort of toys with you when you play against his Skaven team.
What Rob Top was doing last season? Just the standard Skaven of brave Sir Robin bravely run away.
Yeah. Liam does a pretty standard defense. So there is a high kick. So again, the Yorkshire Ripper are receiving. There's a high kick which Donald Trump, the thrower, fails to catch, and Reet, the Skaven line rat, gets rock thrown at him, knocking him out. So turn 1 begins. Liam makes a fairly effective cage in the middle of the pitch. And at Alistair's turn, he blitzes with Glot, knocking out Aristotle. I think he's a Black Orc. Claw is not needed. Keeps most of the team away from the scrimmage and the rest in the deep. Tries a dodge with a line rat and rolls a 1. And then turn 2, Liam aggressively pushes upfield, bases Glot with Senator Cruz, pushes the Rat Ogre away on a blitz, and leaves Trump vulnerable to a 1-die blitz from Narcut, the Rat Ogre. Alistair then does the daring blitz first, gets a POW, ball scatters, within 5 orc tackle zones. And then no impactful blocks on turn 3. Ted Cruz acts stupid. And then Narcot is bucked down. Liam picks up the ball with Jack the Ripper and runs back to the centre line. Alistair then blitzes with Narcot straight away, facing Jack. And then the gutter runners finally move up to limit Liam's movement. And then turn 4, Glart is killed by Ted Cruz. What a brilliant spend. And then
All that inducement money down the drain.
one of the best people you can buy.
Can we have an official rule that no one can recruit Glart now?
No, that's a stupid rule.
Oh.
Who does that even exclude?
Alistair mainly.
Narcot is KO'd. Mighty Blow did a thing. Newt is stunned, and then Jack the Ripper runs into scoring position on the left flank. So Alistair ends his turn, sort of an odd one, and he leaves 3 rats based.
I believe he misclicked.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something he did. Although he sort of like saw into the future. After one of his line rats, Sergal Scuttle, which is a brilliant name, is KO'd. He scores early with Jack, and then gives the Skaven 4 turns to score.
That's too many turns.
Yeah. So of end turn misclicks, worst. So the ball is kicked deep, and then a right happens. Both teams lose a turn.
3 turns to score.
Yeah, still plenty.
Plenty for the rats.
Yeah, he's got a movement 10 rat. Spoilers. The Orc Blitzer on the scrimmage is KO'd. Finn Lutch, the plus movement gutter runner, picks up the ball. And then turn 7, Liam injures Riet, badly hurt with Nocrates. And then blitzes Narca, moves up Orcs to cover the gaps. Jack the Ripper is then KO'd by Alistair. And then Finn Lutch runs up the ball with only 2 rats and Storm Vermin in support, rolls a double 1. On his second go for it, the other gutter runners are all the way in the deep. Perhaps he should have moved them first. But, so then Liam knocks out another line rat with Nocrates, and does a box, and then puts only 1 tackle zone on the ball because the blitz to free up his lineman only results in push. So Alistair's lightning bolt fails. Another bad wizard for him. He fails the dodge into the ball with Finn Lutch, rerolls, dodges, picks up, dodges away, succeeds on 2 go for it, and scores to equalise on turn 8 like a pro.
Like rats do.
Perfectly timed as all things should be.
Alistair's knocked out, line rat comes back. Aris Throttle and the Orc Blitzer John Wayne Gacy stay knocked out, and then Jack the Ripper comes back. Liam has 9, Alistair has 11 with a spare.
Numbers and speed advantage, that's basically game over.
So the Yorkshire Ripper receive another reroll. Alistair blocks down Hannibal Lecter with his claw Storm Vermin Shuruk, injuring him. And then the rats move aggressively on their left flank. Finlutch picks up the ball, retreats, and does a vanity pass to fit in quick, who then runs up. The Orcs do some blocks. And then Ted Cruz is really stupid. Turn 10, Alistair decides not to try the handoff in GFI. Does some does some blocks, bases, and sets a loose cage. Leaves it a little open, but the tackle blitzer Pepe, who is near his base, and there are 3 gutter runners around the ball. Liam then manages to get a POW with his throw Donald Trump on a blitz, stunning him. The ball scatters behind into Skaven's tackle zones, and he gets a blitzer around the ball. The rats block Trump out, push Ted Bundy away from the blitz, and then picks the ball up with the dependable Finlutch, now in a very likely position next turn, with Ted Bundy the only orc near enough to blitz with a dodge and GFI. And then Liam manages to blitz Finlutch with the dodging Ted, rerolls the defender stumble into another defender stumble, forgetting he has tackle, and the ball scatters in a good position for Alistair. 5 Skaven. And then Jack the Ripper is KO'd again on turn 12. Alistair goes for a greedy reroll on Ted with Nizik, the Storm Vermin, making a push skull into double skulls. Turnover. So by turn 13, not much happens. Liam. Finlutch, the dependable, does some 3+ and 2+ to pick up the ball and run out in a fairly safe position. Pepe the Blitzer would need a 4+ dodge with a reroll to knock the gutter runner down. And on Liam's turn, he injures the Lion Rat Niet. Socrates, Fit in the Quick, is tackled and knocked out by the relentless Ted Bundy. Surge Scuttle is knocked out again. Finlutch is based by 3 orcs, with Ted Cruz break tackling away. Turn 14, Alistair's Finlutch does a 3+, 2+, away and stalls. No orcs can reach. And Donald Trump fails a dodge. Turn 15, Alistair is able to continue to stall. Donald Trump is fouled, but of course the rat fouling him is halted. And then turn 16, Finlutch walks it in and scores. Alistair wins convincingly in the end, all seemingly according to plan. And it's a hard matchup for Liam, really.
This very scary this very scary orc team that got to the final 2 seasons ago is on 1 point after 2 games.
Yeah, it's
about to get a lot higher, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna start moving up. He's gonna start moving up the board.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's look at statistics. We can see the Undercity Vermin have more ball possession than the Yorkshire Ripper, which is obviously good for the Vermin and not so good for the Orcs, because Orcs generally like having the ball. Rats generally want to score quickly. But yeah, that seems to work out quite well for Alistair there. Lots of blocks succeeded for the Orcs though. They've succeeded 57, which is over double what Alistair did, and of course they've inflicted more KOs and more injuries and a kill. So they're obviously getting the best of the bash with all that mighty blow and all that armor 7.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the SPP, the SPP is quite even considering everything, but obviously Ted Cruz, Zodiac Killer, getting the MVP.
It's getting up there. It's getting up there.
Ted Cruz Zodiac Killer was quite a fun player to play against. But yeah, he's a failed regen away from death.
That's the point. It's not likely to happen, but you know.
Yeah, but yeah, let's look at the dice. We're gonna look at the Skaven dice. 57% armor. What's that, Leon? Is that good, bad, reasonable?
Yeah, margin of error, I think.
Margin
I
of
think
error.
it's like 60 with the 2 armor 8s, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, you can't complain if you're Skaven you're getting. Especially with the good injury rate, you know.
Dodges are good. Catches are good. KOs are good. Everything's good. Good day at the office for us.
Yeah.
Good day for rats.
Good day for the rats. Look at that block dice. Slightly high skulls, but probably within margin of error. Can't complain too much.
Yeah, we see some one dice here.
One dice.
I count 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh dear, Alistair. One dice. Tut. Yeah, but to be fair, they're probably against Donald Trump, and obviously everyone wants to get rid of Donald Trump because who doesn't want to get rid of Donald Trump? Ha! That's a funny joke. Looking at D6 for the Yorkshire Ripper now. Anything surprising there? Oh my gosh, there's a lot of really stupids.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Ted Cruz, but yeah. The armor is pretty bad.
That is some bad armor. You always have to take a second. It's like, wait, is that the way around? No, that's bad. That's really bad.
And the armor was so unhappy that it tried to hide.
Mainly armor 9. Mainly armor 9.
Yeah, I think don't they have one player? That's like armor value 8.
Yeah, that's the thrower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. Wake up from KOs. Oh, I was complaining about my one. I was complaining my wake up from KOs. My word.
I was like my casualty rate
Yeah.
from my first game.
Let's look at the block dice. The block dice are okay. They're
Not terrible. Nothing too bad.
They're more good than bad. But
There's a lack of pushes is a bit interesting, but
Oh yeah, definitely.
Probably within margin. I don't know.
no, probably not within margin. That's not.
Yeah, true. That's actually that's low.
They're more good than bad, but they're certainly not average.
That's fair.
Let's pop into the teams themselves. We have the Undercity Vermin first, which are over here. They have 2 level ups, I think. Yes, 2 level ups. Finn Lutch, the dependable, as you call him, has now got sprint. Yeah, gee.
I named Alistair's players,
I see.
even though he didn't.
Yes, let's name your players. Is everyone going to be shocked when we?
What a surprise! This got sprint.
That's
moving up with sprint. Oof.
And
what a shock!
I'm gonna murder that player.
And also another real surprise here, guys.
Wait, Mighty Blow? Who would take Mighty Blow on a sword vermin with claw? I say, Alistair, what are you doing?
Ooh, dubious
play never works out.
I believe they have access to edge on a single as well. They don't have access to edge on a single, so it takes a single double for another double for Scrayoak to get jump up, and then we're just going to see Angry Joe 2.0.
Yeah, Angry Joe and Slippery Simon.
Angry Joe and Slippery Simon, the true journeyman of the league. Oh dear.
They're almost like they're not players; they're archetypes now.
Yeah.
Mighty Blow plus core equals skill. Thanks for that one, Adam. That was a great one. I saw that on your.
That was fun.
Yeah. We're gonna pop to the leaderboard before we look at the schedule. We're gonna do predictions this week.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah. Knife-Eared Bastards, Forgotten Refrigerators, and Undercity Vermin all have a 100% record. I don't think any of them have had particularly difficult games.
Undercity Vermin, maybe.
Let's see. Who was their week 1 game? Oh no, well, fair enough. A game against Liam is difficult.
Yeah, that game was pretty tough.
A game against Liam is difficult. Then below that we've got Rob's Claws and Tug of My Bone, the other 2 undefeated teams. Obviously, the unsurprising teams that we're expecting to be up there near the end of the season. The Knife-Eared Bastards are high up, but we'll see what let's see what happens. Someone's going to bring them down to earth, right, guys?
I mean, I have a great record against Alpha.
I don't.
I would try, but I've already lost.
I will be very unhappy if I am not the first Wood Elf team to win the league.
Well, you know how to play Owls.
Yeah. Yeah, I was. Don't make me bring Wood Elves next season. Don't make me bring Wood Elves.
Please
bring
don't,
my
please,
undead.
please. I'll do anything.
In the bottom half of the leaderboard, in the bottom half of the, we've got the Yorkshire Ripper, 1 point from 2 games. On their, they're probably going to get higher up on the leaderboard, but you never know. There is a lot. There is a lot of niggling injuries in the Yorkshire Ripper, so it is dangerous. Killing Jokes, probably going to be about here at the end of the season. Oof, hot take.
Oh, savage. Right.
Savage mood.
And bottom 4 of the leaderboard.
The disappointments and the punching bags.
Yeah, myself, Fraser the editor, and you two. Oh dear.
It turns out the more you watch Blood Bowl, the worse you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw what happened to Alistair last season, guys.
I'm just sitting here, just like, so Liam, how's having players going? Because this is something that we both do on a regular basis: is have a full roster.
Oh dear. Well, let's see. Let's see if your punditry skills are going to make you good predictors. Considering that I saw plenty of memes about how bad I was at predicting last season, Willem has got an Excel spreadsheet, I hope.
I do have the Excel spreadsheet up right here.
And Willem, you're going to lead us off with every prediction since you went first, since you've already wrote yours down. And then we're going to go.
I didn't write.
Oh, okay.
I didn't already write mine down.
Well, I'll go
I
first.
just knew in my head.
I'll go first. Let's go with Tiger My Bone versus the Meemly Men. I've got my predictions down here, actually. I think that I'm being ambitious here. The game is going to be a 2-2 draw. Considering how my game against Rob Top went, and how it could have gone if I played slightly bit more, focused my fundamentals a bit more, the game would have been, I think it will be 2-2. So that's my prediction for this game. What about you guys?
Leon?
Well, I want to believe in you, but
Yeah, Adam's a bit of an unknown.
I'm saying it's either 2-1 or 1-1. Probably 2-1 to Adam.
Okay.
Yeah, I still don't think it's a great matchup for you, but
No.
it's hard to know with your team. Your team is a bit weird.
Brett's are weird.
Yeah, they're really good. They're really good against Underworld, who aren't here.
Yeah.
They're probably decent against Lizards,
Mm.
but I'm not sure about any other teams really.
What about you? Willem?
Decent against orcs, especially with the Black Orc.
What about you? Willem?
1-0, I think.
1-0. Okay.
I think just because the
To who?
undead are just too to Adam.
Okay.
Because I think the undead are just too slow to be able to get past your defense and score 2 touchdowns. I don't know. I think they're too tough for you to be able to really get a touchdown in. But I'm willing to be proved wrong.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
You've got more block and wrestle, you know.
Yeah, true.
Considering how long we've recorded for, maybe the editor will knock this out, but let's see what happens. Let's rush through these games now. Freddy's Nightmares versus Fake Leather and Pleasure. Who wants to go first on this one?
I'm giving Fraser 2-0. He's gonna play fantastic. He's gonna dodge a lot and it's gonna work. And
Okay.
Barry's gonna go too aggressive.
Barry's going to go too aggressive.
That's impossible.
Barry's going to go too aggressive. Fraser's going to make lots of 1 dice and he's going to lose 2-1.
Okay.
And what about you, Willem?
I'm saying 1-2 in Fraser's favour.
Okay. Next game. Leon, your game. Fly the Lizards versus Killing Jokes.
So, I would say probably 1-1, but I'm going to be optimistic and say 2-1 to me.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm saying 1-0 to the Jokes.
2-1. Yep.
And you?
Sorry, what did you say, Leon?
I said 2-1 to me.
2-1 to who? To you. Okay.
Mm.
I'm gonna say 1-1 draw. Right?
Willem, what about your game?
Okay, I'm predicting 0-3 loss on this. Can I add a special caveat? I reckon. Can I get an extra point if I can predict an Arian's gonna die?
No, you got extra points for that. You don't get extra points for that. I think everyone knows Anarian's going to die this game. Leon's been touting it to everyone he's spoken to. He said, I am going to kill Anarian the Defender. So, I'm going to say 2-0, because I don't think he's going to go for 3. I think he's going to go for 2. What about you,
He's
Leon?
gonna spend so much time
Yeah,
trying to kill me.
I can't see him getting 3 against you.
Yeah, so you're going with 2-0 as well?
No, I'm saying 2-1 to him.
Okay.
Whatever. As if I could score.
Claws versus the Vermin. Who wants to go first in this one? Willem, you go first.
Versus the Vermin, I think Rob's team is just quite good, so 2-1 to the Claws, I'm gonna say.
I agree, and I'm going to add Mighty Blow.
Yeah, true.
Leon?
So it's the mummy and daddy of the league. Yeah. I really want this game to win against them, but considering Alistair is playing really well, but yeah, I'll give it to Rob. I'm thinking it's 2-1 to him.
We've all gone with the same thing here. So.
Yeah, but if Alistair won, it wouldn't be surprising.
Yes, that's true. And now we've got 2 teams who have both got a 100% record playing each other this week. Fan favourites Fridge Raiders versus the Knife-Eared Bastards. I'm going to go first in this one.
The Knife-Eared Bastards are going to get trampled, aren't they?
No, they're not. It's going to be a 1-1 draw. What about you, Leon?
So, yeah, I think it's just going to be 1, and it's going to be to Forgotten Fridge. What else is going to really struggle against? No.
I concur. 0-1.
Okay. Well, that's predictions. That's the leaderboard. It's going to be an interesting week, guys. Games are already get going with your games. Good luck, everyone. Nuffle bless.
Good luck. Nuffle bless. All of that.
Ciao, Bellas.
Ciao.
Well, we're still recording, but, you know, that went well. Fraser, do you want to come in, or if you're even here?
Fraser.
Sorry?
We're
We're
done.
going to ask Fraser. Too
Yeah.
much work. That's...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Fraser, if you can hear me. You're going to have to do a lot.
I think Fraser's not going to be here, so I think we're done. Alright, cool.
Okay.
We're stopping recording now.